Imagine walking through the streets of London on a sweltering summer day in 1858. The air is thick, heavy, almost unbearable. People clutch their noses, horses shy away, and the smell? Oh, the smell. It wasn't smoke, it wasn't rot from the alleys, it was the river itself. The Thames had turned into a dark, bubbling river of human waste, dead animals, and industrial sludge. Even the lawmakers inside the Houses of Parliament weren't safe. The stench seeped through the walls, making men gag, faint, and abandon debates. This wasn't just a bad summer, this was London's great stink, a disaster that would change the city forever. To understand the horror, we need to go back a little. London in the mid 19th century was booming. Its population had exploded over 2 million people, the largest city in the world at the time. But growth came with a cost. Streets were narrow, houses crammed together, and there were no modern sewers. Human waste, animal carcasses, and industrial runoff all ended up in the Thames. Rivers weren't seen as sources of life, they were dumping grounds. Cholera outbreaks had already killed tens of thousands in the city, yet people continued to ignore the problem. The Thames, once a symbol of life and trade, had become a brown, fetid, floating nightmare, and then came the summer of 1858. That year, the heat was relentless, the sun baked the city, and the river began to fester. Flies swarmed all over the sludge. The smell rose like a dark fog, curling around every street, slipping under doors, creeping into every house. Newspaper reported people vomiting on the streets, fainting in shops, and even abandoning their jobs just to escape the stench. And it didn't stop at ordinary Londoners. In Parliament, men fanned themselves with handkerchiefs, gagging as the odor infiltrated the building. One MP reportedly said, "Gentlemen, the situation is intolerable. I can't breathe, I can't debate, I can barely sit in my own office." The stench became so famous it earned its own nickname, the Great Stink. And it was no exaggeration. By August, it was said that people could smell the Thames from over a mile away. The government scrambles to respond, but politics is slow. Some suggested temporarily sluices to flush the river. Others tried burning lime or spraying chemicals, but nothing worked. The smell continued to dominate the city, mocking their attempts at control. The chaos was so extreme that parliament nearly shut down entirely. Imagine trying to pass laws while gagging on human waste. Yet, even in the filth, there were heroes waiting in the wings. Enter Joseph Bazalgette, chief engineer of London. Bazalgette wasn't just an engineer, he was a visionary. He proposed building London's first modern sewer system, an underground network of pipes capable of redirecting waste far from the Thames. It was ambitious, over 1,100 miles of sewer tunnels that crisscrossed the city, pumping stations and intercepting rivers. But Bazalgette's genius lay in the details. He over-engineered the system, ensuring it would handle future population growth, even doubling the population. Construction took years, but the city's stink finally began to fade. By the early 1860s, the Thames had transformed from a sewer into a river capable of sustaining life and a city that could breathe again. But the great stink wasn't just about sewage. The event created some truly bizarre moments. Some enterprising locals sold Thames mud as fertilizer despite it being mixed with human waste. Ghost stories sprang up along the river, claiming spirits of the drowned were trapped in the sludge. The smell was so bad, foreign diplomats refused to visit London that summer. And yet, children still play near the river, daring each other to touch the ooze, laughing in spite of the chaos. It was a reminder that humans can be resilient, foolish, and absurdly creative all at once. The great stink of London wasn't just a summer disaster, it was a turning point. A river of waste forced the city to confront its infrastructure, politics, and public health. It claimed no official victims, but it reshaped the lives of millions. Next time you flush a toilet or see a clean river, remember, it took a river of human filth, fainting, lawmakers, and one brilliant engineer to make London the city we recognize today. And somewhere in history, the city still whispers the story of a summer when Pope almost conquered the capital.